This module is on stress and bullying. Stress in teens. The early teen years are marked by rapid changes, physical, cognitive, and emotional. Young people also face changing relationships with peers, new demands at school, family tensions, and safety issues in their communities. The ways in which teens cope with these stressors can have significant short and long-term consequences on their physical and emotional health. Difficulties in handling stress can lead to mental health problems such as depression and anxiety disorders. Stress is the body's reaction to a challenge, which could be anything from outright physical danger to asking someone for a date or trying out for a sports team. Good and bad things create stress. Getting into a fight with a friend is stressful, but so is a kiss and contemplating what might follow. Long-term stressful situations like coping with a parent's divorce or being bullied at school can produce a lasting low-level stress that can wear out the body's reserves, weaken the immune system, and make an adolescent feel depleted or beleaguered. There are several things that can cause stress in teenagers. They are school pressure and career decisions, after-school or summer jobs, dating and friendships, pressure to wear certain types of clothing, jewelry, or hairstyles, pressure to experiment with drugs, alcohol, or sex, pressure to be a particular size or body shape. With girls, the focus is often weight. With boys, it is usually a certain muscular or athletic physique. Dealing with the physical and cognitive changes of puberty, family and peer conflicts, being bullied or exposed to violence or sexual harassment, cramped schedules, juggling sport, school, after-school activities, social life, and family obligations. However, there are certain signs with which we can notice teen stress. These are increased complaints of headache, stomachache, muscle pain, and tiredness, shutting down and withdrawing from people and activities, increased anger or irritability, that is, lashing out at people and situations, crying more often and appearing teary-eyed, feelings of hopelessness, chronic anxiety and nervousness, changes in sleeping pattern and eating habits, that is, insomnia or being too busy to eat, and difficulty in concentrating. However, there are certain ways with which teens can do stress management. Firstly, talk about problems with others. Take deep breaths accompanied by thinking or saying aloud that I can handle this. Third, perform progressive muscle relaxation, which involves rapidly tensing and relaxing large muscles of the body. Fourth, set small goals and break tasks into smaller, manageable chunks. Fifth, exercise and eat regular meals. Sixth, get proper sleep. Seventh, break the habit of relying on caffeine or energy drinks to get through the day. 8. Focus on what you can control, which is your actions and your reactions, and let go of what you cannot, which is other people's opinions and expectations. 9th, visualize and practice feared situations. 10th, walk through those worst case scenarios until they seem amusing or absurd. 11th, lower unrealistic expectations. 12th, schedule breaks and enjoyable activities. 13th, accept yourself as you are, identify your unique strengths and build on them. Last but not the least, give up on the idea of perfection, both in yourself and in others. Bullying. Bullying involves a person or a group repeatedly trying to harm someone they see as weaker or more vulnerable. Appearance and social status are the main reasons for bullying, but people can be singled out because of their sexual orientation, their race, religion, or because they may be shy and introverted. Bullying can involve direct attacks, hitting, threatening, or intimidating, maliciously teasing and taunting, name-calling, making sexual remarks, sexual assault, and stealing or damaging belongings. Bullying can also involve the subtler, indirect attacks of rumor-mongering or encouraging others to snub someone. New technologies such as text messaging, instant messaging, social networking websites, and the easy filming and online posting of videos has introduced a new form of intimidation, cyberbullying, which is widespread on the internet. There are certain signs of bullying that parents and teachers can look for. First, damaged or missed clothing and belonging. Second, unexplained cuts, bruises, or torn clothes. Third, lack of friends. Fourth, frequent claims of having lost pocket money, possessions, packed lunches, or snacks. Fifth, fear of school or of leaving the house. Sixth, avoidance of places, friends, family members, or activities that your child once enjoyed. Seventh, unusual routes to and from the school or the bus stop. Ninth, poor appetite, headaches, stomach aches. 10th, mood swings. 11th, trouble sleeping. 12th, lack of interest in schoolwork. 13th, talk about suicide. And last but not the least, uncharacteristic aggression towards younger siblings or family members. Now coming to steps as to how adults can help a child get over bullying. Speak up after a teen tells you about being bullied at school or elsewhere. Take his or her concerns seriously. Go to the school and talk to the teachers, coaches, and principal. Speak to the parents or adults in charge if a teen is being harassed by a peer or social clique. Observe your own behavior. Adolescents look to adults for cues as to how to act, so practice being caring and empathetic and controlling your own aggressions. Avoid engaging in physical violence, harsh criticism, vendettas, and vicious emotional outbursts. Advocate for policies and programs concerning bullying in the school and in the community. Cyberbullying. Cyberbullies send harassing or obscene messaging, post private information on a public site, intentionally exclude someone from a chat room, or pretend to be someone else to try to embarrass a person. For example, by pretending to be a boy or a girl who is romantically interested in the person. Often the information used for cyberbullying at first appears innocent or inconsequential. A teen could post or text what he or she thinks is run-of-the-mill news about a friend, teacher, or family members, but others could use it for harassment or bullying purposes. Cyberbullying differs from traditional bullying in that it can be harder to escape. It can occur at any time of the day or night, and it can be much more public, since rude and obscene messages can be spread quickly. It can also be anonymous. There are several ways that adults can protect teens from cyberbullies. First, stress to teens what is not safe to put on the web or give out to people they don't know, which is their full address, name, cell phone number, specific places they hang out, financial information, ethnic background, school, or anything else that would help someone locate them. Although it is important to protect young people's privacy, it may be necessary to review a teen's social networking site to make sure they do not reveal too much personal information. Secondly, emphasize that in cyberspace, there is no such thing as an erase button. Messages, photos, rants, and musings can and do hang around forever. Information that may seem harmless now to a teen can be used against them at any time, maybe in the future when applying to college or looking for a job. Photos posted on the site should not reveal too much information about teens. Thirdly, shut down a personal website or blog when the adolescent is subjected to bullying or flaming. If necessary, it is possible to get a new personal email ID and instant messaging identity. Fourthly, make clear to young adults what kinds of messages are harmful and inappropriate. Enforce clearly spelled out consequences if young people engage in those behaviors. Encourage teens not to respond to cyberbullying. The decision whether to erase messages is difficult. It is not good for teens to revisit them, but they may need to be saved as evidence if the bullying becomes persistent. Finally, keep computers out of the teen's bedroom so that the computer activity can be monitored better.